Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sam and today's video is going to be my March TBR. Now, it's been a while since I have done a just strictly TBR video. I have been putting them into my monthly reset vlogs, and this month I just don't have it in me to film a monthly reset. So you're just gonna get a plain old TBR video, an old-fashioned TBR video. I hope you don't mind. I am putting a little spin on this though because I've been obsessed with watching these types of TBR videos lately. It's where a TBR jar picks your TBR, like a prompt jar picks your TBR. So I asked over on Instagram for a bunch of prompts and you all came through. So there's a ton in here, okay? There is so many, and we're just gonna see how this goes. First of all though, I do have some new releases that I want to get to, and then I have my 24 books that I want to read in 2024 jar. We're gonna go through those first so we can see if I can fit them into any prompt that I may pull out of the jar. So the first new release that we have is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This is going to be emotional. I know a lot of people have already read the arc of this and absolutely loved it. This comes out March the 5th. And then we have two books coming out on March the 7th. We have Blitz by Devaney Perry. This is the second book in her, I forget what series it is. You all know I'm terrible at remembering series. But this is a coach athlete. I believe the heroine is a volleyball player, and then the hero, I don't think he's actually her coach, but I think he coaches at the college that she attends. I think. I'm excited for it. And then we have Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is book 2 in her Rebel Blue Ranch series, I think. Yes, this is following Ada and Wes. I think it's going to be an opposites attract, enemies to lovers. That's all I know about it. I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the first book, which is Done and Dusted. I thought it was just a cute, fun, small town romance. So I'm excited to see how this author is going to grow and then, just follow her journey. So those are the new releases. Now we're going to do my TBR jar and see what we get out of there, okay? So these are the books that I put in. I have a whole video on it. 24 books that I want to read in 2024. Now, I'm going to call myself out again because I've pulled, 4 books now? I'm doing 2 a month. Out of all 4 of the books that I have pulled, do you want to know how many I've read? None of them. None of them. So I have some catching up to do, but you know what? We're gonna get it done. I might do like a whole vlog on just reading all of these books so I can catch up. I don't know. I need y'all. I'm terrible. The whole point was to read these books and I have not yet. So, all right, let's go. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. I'm actually really excited about this one. Let me grab it. So the first book that I pulled out of my TBR jar is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I have been wanting to read this book for so long. I have heard such good things about this book, so I am super excited. This is, I believe, set in Alaska in 1974. I know that this deals with a father who has PTSD and kind of the just toll that takes on this family. So I'm expecting to cry in this book, and I'm also expecting to love this book. I hope so. All right, let's get one more. Okay, so the second book that I pulled out of my TBR jar is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This, I think, is her most popular book. Is it? I feel like when people talk about Emily Henry, they say they love this one. I think Beach Read is sort of hit or miss. I know Book Lovers is hit or miss. I actually really loved Book Lovers. Did not like Happy Place, but I still have yet to read this one. I think this is Friends to Lovers. It says they have nothing in common. Yes, 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, 1 last chance to fall in love. Okay, I'm very excited about these two, and they're both orange. So now we're gonna get into my prompt jar. I don't actually have a jar. This, I pulled this from my cabinet. It says awkward is my specialty because it's very true. Okay, let's get started here. I'm a little bit nervous though. One's already flying out at me. Okay, a pink book. Both This Could Be Us and Swift and Saddled are pink. So maybe I'll just go ahead and use one of those. Yeah, let's just do This Could Be Us. That will be my pink book. Okay, moving on. Give a second chance to a previous DNF. Okay, let me think on that for a second. So the book that I'm going to read for Give a Previous DNF a Second Chance is Disgrace by Brittany Cherry. When I read this, I listened to the audiobook and I think I got about 30, maybe 40% of the way through it, and I just wasn't loving it. It's very small town and the heroine comes from a very religious family, and they just had all these expectations on her, and the small town was super just judgmental and just, I just didn't like the vibe of it. But I hear such good things, and Brittany Cherry is one of my favorite authors, so I do want to give this one a second chance. So I'm going to try this one. I don't think I'm going to do the audiobook this time. We'll see how me reading it physically will go, or ebook in this case. So now let's pick another prompt. Okay, they're all sticking together here. Let's see. A new to you author. I have quite a bit of these here that I could do. So for new to you author, I have a couple books from two different authors that have been on my radar for quite a while. So I have two here by Ellen Hildebrand. So I have 28 Summers and then The 5-Star Weekend. These, I don't know that I'm feeling these, but this is a new author that I definitely want to read this year. But then I have Amy Harmon. Now, Amy Harmon is a historical fiction writer, and I have been in a historical fiction mood. I have found my love of the genre, so I think I'm going to go with one of these, but I don't know which one. So I know this one, Where the Lost Wander. This is sort of like Oregon Trail, which very much intrigues me, because if you were a kid in the 90s and you went to elementary school in the early 90s and you played Oregon Trail in the computer lab, I loved that game. So this just kind of, it intrigues me. And then I think, yes, this one is set in Italy in World War II. I think there's a bit of a romance in here. A sweeping epic love story, war, and the resilience of the human spirit. So maybe this one. But then we have this one, which is What the Wind Knows. I believe this is time traveling, and it's set in Ireland, I think. So yes, Ireland of 1921, teetering on the edge of war. So I think I'm going to go with one of these. I don't know. I really want to read these all. I think I'm going to go with this one for new to me author, and we're going to do From Sand to Ash. World War II historical fiction. That's what I'm feeling right now. So that's what we're doing. Okay. All right, let's go. Next prompt. Okay. A thriller. I have plenty of thrillers. So I pulled two options for thrillers. Both of these are by authors that I have not read, but these have been on my TBR for a very long time, and I've heard really good things. So my first option is Still Missing by Chevy Stevens. I have so many of her books on my shelf, and I've just not gotten to them yet. This one, I believe, follows a woman that is abducted, and you go through everything with her. very intrigued about this one. And then I have What Lies Between Us by John Mars. This is a very popular thriller author, and again, I have not read him yet. This, I think, follows a mother and a daughter, and that's all I know about it. So let's see, which one of these do I want to read? I think I might do Still Missing. Yes, that's the one. Okay, next prompt we have here. Oh, why are you sticking together? Okay. A purple book. All right. Okay, so I have found 3 options for a purple book. So this one, there's a lot of purple on this one, but it also has a purple spine, so I'm counting it. This is All the Little Things by Rachel Lee. This is an indie romance. I believe it's Brother's Best Friend. I haven't really heard much about this book or much about this author, so this one definitely intrigues me. 4 years ago, my life was forever changed. 1 kiss, 1 moment, 5 words. Enjoy all the little things. That's what Riker said the night before he vanished from our lives. So that's what I did. I lived each day like it was the last. Now he's back in town and staying with me as a favor to my brother. Okay, that sounds real good. And then we have The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I believe this is where an app is developed that you submit your DNA and it can tell you who your soulmate is. And I think the creator of this app actually finds his soulmate through this process. And the heroine is a single mom. And then the last option that I pulled for a purple book is Notes on an Execution. This, I believe, is following a serial killer and maybe the victims. Through a kaleidoscope of women, a mother, a sister, a homicide detective, we learn the story of Ansel's life. So Ansel is a serial killer who is awaiting execution. This one has been on my TBR for quite a while. I don't know which one I want to read. I'm just going to make an executive decision and put both of these on my TBR because they both sound really good. So, 2 books for purple on the cover. All right. I think I'm going to do 2 more books and call it good because this is a lot of books. It's a lot of books. Okay, here we go. Okay, sad/emotional read. Ooh. So I have 2 options for a sad emotional read. First off, I have 7 Days in June by T.O. Williams. This, I believe, is a second chance romance following 2 authors. I think our heroine is a single mother, and I believe the hero was an addict previously. So maybe he's still dealing with some addiction issues. I'm not sure, but I've heard such good things about this romance. So is it a romance or is this more like women's fiction? I think it's more women's fiction, but the romance is really good. So that's the first option. And then we have my girl, Miss Emma Scott. Okay. Unbreakable. This is following 2 people who meet when they are held hostage for 3 days in a bank. I don't know which one I want to read most. Both of these sound so good. I would go ahead and pick both of them, but I already have too many. Books on my TBR. Which one? I think I'm going to go with 7 Days in June. I've had this one longer than I have Unbreakable, and this was actually a gift from Zay from Witty Reads, so I should probably read this. This is going to be the last prompt that I pull out of this jar and the last book on my TBR, my official TBR. Okay. Last prompt. I'm so glad. Fantasy romance. I have plenty of these to choose from, so I'm going to grab a few. I'll be right back. So I have pulled 3 fantasy romances from my shelf that I want to read. So the first one that we have is Blood and Steel by Helen Shearer. I don't know. This, I believe, is set in a world where women are forbidden to wield blades, but our heroine has trained in secret for her entire life. That sounds really good. I do, however, think that there is a prequel book that I'm supposed to read before this. I don't remember though. If you know, let me know. And then we have Flame and Sparrow by S.M. Gaither. I've seen some sort of mixed reviews about this book, but I'm still really intrigued. I don't even know what this book is about. It says her sister has disappeared. She goes to the gods because she's convinced that they are responsible for it. And she's spent the past 5 years plotting their revenge, or plotting her revenge. Yeah, this is also a chunker, so I don't know. I do really want to read this though. And then the last fantasy romance option that I have is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is book 1 in the Kindred's Curse saga. And I think this is the one that I'm going to read because this is the one right now that is getting the most hype. And there's just a lot of buzz around this right now. So I'm going to read this one. I also have the audiobook, so this is happening. I feel like I need to recap everything that's on my TBR. I feel like this was a bit chaotic. So I'm going to just very quickly tell you all the books. Very quickly. Okay, so for new releases, I have Blitz by Devney Perry. Comes out the 7th. Also coming out the 7th is Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. And then on the 5th, we have This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. Okay, and then fantasy romance, Spark of the Everflame. Sad and emotional read, we have 7 Days in June. I did 2 for purple on the cover. Notes on an Execution and All the Little Things. And then for thriller, I have Still Missing by Shetty Stevens. And then new to you author, Amy Harmon. This is from Sand and Ash. And then the 2 books that I pulled out of my TBR jar, which is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry and The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Also, Disgrace by Brittany Cherry. This is for a book that you have previously DNF'd. That is my March TBR. Let me know down below what you all plan on reading in March. If you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a 4-leaf clover in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.